Thank you, Latrice. Music has a special power to move us and stir our emotions. Now, scientific studies have shown that music really can change our mood and even help us concentrate. Welcome to our show. Each month, Chattanooga Board Certified Psychiatrist Dr. Tim Jennings, who says music can now be a treatment for brain problems, not just to help with a low mood or lift a mood or whatever it might be, or set a mood. You're talking profound change from music.
Yeah, actually, this began to be discovered during World War II when soldiers in veterans hospitals, the government sent in musicians to play for the soldiers, and the doctors and nurses noted that the soldiers who had been unresponsive to anything suddenly sat up and started interacting with music. And this led to the development of an entire certification for music therapists, and there's about 6,000 music therapists in the country now.
And we hear about that. You walk in Memorial and occasionally you'll hear a violinist playing or different things like that. And then of course the piped in music that can be used. But World War II was a long time ago. Why are we just now talking about scientific proof?
Well, yeah, I think it's taken a while for the research to come out with the new brain imaging things that we can do. But there are actually specific conditions, and music affects the brain. Different music affects the brain differently. For instance, let's talk Parkinson's disease. And you know, it's a disorder where people have trouble moving. They're real sluggish. They're slow. Well, it's been shown in multiple studies that music with a regular rhythmic beat helps them initiate movement, helps them to have better smooth gait, helps them to be more stable on their feet if they have this rhythmic music going. Okay, and the reason for this seems to be that the music actually is one of the unique things that can activate the brain widely. The part there where we think, the part where our language is, the part where we hear, our acoustical part of our brain, but then the deeper brain structures where we actually do have movement, where movement originates from. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're having the music playing and you notice your foot starts to tap.
Sure.
You're not even thinking about it. It's stimulating the motor centers of your brain, you see? And so in this type of music helps people move better. Music's also been associated and helped people with memory. Remembering Parkinson's patients have better recall of addresses, phone numbers, and things like this if they listen to music regularly. And I don't know if you've ever heard a song you haven't heard for years, and they play it and you know the words immediately.
It's amazing.
You see how that works? Yes.
And I have a friend whose mother has Alzheimer's, and pretty profound. But when a hymn is played, she can sing and remember all the words.
Yes, and actually
that's remarkable.
And they've done studies thanks for bringing that up. They've done studies in Alzheimer's patients that music will actually help them have better behavior, interact better, and they, just as you say, it will awaken areas of their past where they can actually connect with people, like singing the hymn songs, where they wouldn't have done it otherwise. And what's interesting is they don't necessarily cognitively remember. They're not thinking, okay, what are those words again? They just come.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not trying.
Exactly.
It's there. Somehow or other, it's there in the brain.
And that's because the music activates widely the brain, causing a lot of interconnections. It activates the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere, the front, the back, the deep circuits, and it really enhances brain development and growth.
All right. What are we talking about? Any particular kind of music?
Well, actually, yes, that's another great question. The types of music can be used differently. Music that has a regular rhythmic beat, as we talked about, is helpful for movement. Music that a person is familiar with, had grown up with, has an emotional connection to, is actually helpful for bringing people out of depression, helping recovery from illnesses, stimulating that person with Alzheimer's dementia. Also, regular music helps reduce the sensation of pain, and people recovering from surgery, if they're listening to music they like, actually have less pain medicine requirements than if they don't have the music they need. So yeah, all of these things.
Wow. Okay, if I want to just facilitate my child in her studies at home, would music be a good thing? You say it stimulates the
Yes,
brain?
classical music has been shown to activate both sides, left and right, and it enhances learning, enhances new language development. With this Baroque type classical 10 hertz music has been very, very helpful in this. But not all music is helpful.
Okay. Why?
Well, there have been studies that show that certain types of music actually accelerate unhealthy behaviors in adolescents. Adolescents who, taking into account the various cofactors such as socioeconomic status, what part of the city you live in, these types of things. Taking into account all those, kids who listen to rap music were 3 times more likely to hit a teacher. 2.5 times more likely to be arrested, twice as likely to have multiple sexual partners, 1.5 times more likely to have a sexually transmitted disease than kids who didn't listen to rap. Kids who listen to pop music videos at adolescence have increased likelihood of drinking alcohol, 31% increased likelihood of drinking alcohol. And then kids who listen to music with a high sexual content in the music, and these are 12 to 14-year-olds. 12 to 14-year-olds, music with lots of sexual content doubles the likelihood to have sex in the next 2 years.
Ooh, so it's quite an influencer, but it can be a negative way too.
Oh, there's no question. And so the music you choose, and think about how it can affect your mood.
Oh yeah.
You ever watch a television program where you're just on the edge of your seat, you're feeling really stressed, something suspenseful is happening? Push the mute button right then and see what happens.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit mute, your picture's still there.
Right.
It just, the tension just cuts, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It has a real influence. Okay. So the rap isn't just necessarily the socioeconomic.
No, it's not. Actually, that was factored out.
Itself.
It's the music itself.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So forget the pop music. Turn the radio off in the car. No, put it on classical. Okay.
Well, there's a lot of music can be healthy, but you have to be thoughtful about it.
Right. I know. I'm joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Dr. Tim Jennings, always enlightening. Thank you so much for being here with us. We'll be hearing from him again next month, and we always look forward to it. tmschattanooga.com. Dr. Tim Jennings. If you need more information, the phone number there on your screen as well, 531-4110. And we'll be back in just a minute with a whole lot more here on 3+U.